They say good things come to those who wait. Well, guess I'm gonna be at least an hour late. You've been so good to me, allow me to demonstrate. Hey, real loving, you don't have to wait. Now come closer, yeah. You pick me up, keep me up, keep me up when I'm feeling under, when I'm feeling undone. Oh secret, oh secret, oh secret. You're the one I've been keeping. You are the one, you are the one, yeah.
Welcome to another episode of Doek and Ty. We're gonna call this the extended cut. My name is Kali. This is my wife. This is my wife. Yeah, this is my wife Bonang, aka Doek, and I also go by Ty. Why?
That's not how you normally introduce me. Why guy?
Nah, man. You've been telling me weird
things.
Fix it. You've been telling me weird things.
Fix it.
Thank you so much for being here. Let me grab the stick of truth quickly.
Baby, fix it.
So whoever has the stick gets to speak.
Fix it.
This is my beautiful wife. Yeah. Sometimes, not all the time. But yeah, thank you so much for being here. We just wanted to take some time out to thank everybody who subscribed to the YouTube channel. I think we're almost at 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. So yes, we're hoping that by... Baby, stick of truth. You need to be holding this to speak, please. What do you mean?
Ooh, a long way away.
Yes, but road to 1K, hopefully by June, July will be there. And shout out to the Facebook community as well for interacting with us on a weekly basis. So today, we wanted to take some time out to read your comments. We normally just try to reply there by the comment section, but today we wanted to take time to read them out loud and just share our thoughts on your comments. So this is Doek and Ty, the extended cut, right?
Yes.
But before we get there, hey man, what a week. I haven't been well. I had like the biggest flu.
The vid.
No, I had the biggest flu.
The vid.
And obviously Bonang thought I had the vid. And hey, you should go test. You should go do this. But I could just tell it's flu, you know? It's not the vid, but I'm slowly recovering. But I think for the last 2 days, man, I saw the light. I was seeing the light.
Just get tested.
Huh?
Just get tested. I'll get tested with you. We live together. It's irresponsible not to test.
The thing is, you have to act like you have COVID. I've been acting like I have it. I mean, everything that I've been doing, remedies, social distancing, staying home. I get it. Either you're positive or negative, just act like you have it, which is what I've been doing.
If you are acting like you have it, that means you stay home. You self-isolate. You don't social distance. There's a difference.
I have been isolated. You're the only person who comes to me bothering me. So, yeah. What else happened? We celebrated our anniversary when? Was it last week? And we both forgot.
I did not forget. Don't
baby.
Don't you dare.
You forgot.
I did not forget.
We only remembered because Rati posted something on her status like, hey, happy anniversary, the Kalis. Hey, what is this? We forgot. It was our 3-year anniversary.
We did not
forget.
Yeah. You forgot.
Baby.
You forgot.
If it's your anniversary and it hits about 9, 10, we saw your partner anything. Come on. It was like 9, 10 a.m. And you hadn't said anything, so clearly we both forgot. And a big shout out to her. She actually got us a ring light, which we are using to shoot today. It's very bright. Hey, this is unusual, but we like it. Hopefully the video is of better quality because of the light, right?
Wow.
All right, let's move straight to the comments. So we've decided to read as far back as, I think, 2 episodes. We'll see how it goes. We're going to start with comments from our adoption episode. I believe that was episode 43.
Okay, should I start?
Uh-huh.
All right, so the first comment that we're going to get into is from Iweti. What a beautiful name.
Full name?
Iweti Lejo.
The job, okay.
I'm sorry if I watched.
Shout out to you for commenting there.
Yes. So, Iwan's take is that, well, from what I've heard and seen as a non-expert, when men marry a woman with kids, especially if they are very young, they usually go through legal adoption. I think the kids, when the kids are very young, they go through legal adoption. But when the kids are older, the legal adoption is more difficult because they are more mature.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And then there's a reply that we have a reply from Bailey. Are, she found out she was part adopted shortly before her 16th when they submitted the adoption application. It was turned down by the social welfare department, the reason being that they want buy-in from her biological parents, regardless of the fact that her adoptive parents are all she's known.
Ah, okay. Is that Lumo?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And literally, she has no memory of the biological parents because she's been parented by her adoptive parents before she was even 2 years old.
Ah, okay.
So she always knew her biological parents as just family friends.
Oh, okay. Interesting stuff. Can you read that again?
On a double take.
Yeah.
All right. So, Iwanzi was saying that it's more difficult to adopt when the kids are grown up, when they're more mature. And it's easier when the kids are younger.
Okay.
And then the reply to that was that Bailey found out she was adopted when she was 16, shortly before her 16th, and Kaba submitted the adoption application. It was turned down by social welfare because they wanted buy-in from her biological parents, regardless of the fact that her adoptive parents were all she's known her entire life.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know. I know Bailey. I didn't know that. We should have you on the show, man.
I get it. We should really come talk this adoption thing through.
Yeah.
We can even drop by her house.
Yes, shoot. Let us know if you want us to come to your house.
And shoot there.
We know where you live. Okay,
Yeah,
interesting stuff. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah. Any other comment?
Alright, more comments. Abby says,
Full name?
Abby Mwate.
Okay. Shout out to Abby. I know Abby is always commenting on the channel, especially on YouTube. Yeah.
Abby Adu, she would love to adopt in future. Growing up, she didn't have a healthy relationship with her mom. And at one point, her mom told her she was adopted. And the way she feels like the way her moms talked to her on a daily basis made her believe she was adopted. So it affected her a lot. She never felt love, never felt her mother's love. And even to this point, she still doesn't feel that love.
That's some sad stuff. I think the mom was probably doing the African thing. You remember I did share enough what my mom used to tell me I was adopted all the time. When in essence she was just joking. So hopefully Abby, maybe fix that relationship with your moms. Parents can be difficult, or we can be difficult as well as the kids. I don't know. But somebody has to take the first step and try to fix that relationship before it's too late.
I get that. I really understand that. But I feel like it's a very difficult situation to be in. Like, how do you approach your parent who feel like they don't love you? How do you approach them and say, I don't feel loved? How do you make them then make you feel loved? I feel like it's a difficult situation.
Yeah, I feel you, but still, I think somebody needs to take the first step. Maybe the mom doesn't know that Abby feels that way, so the minute she sits the mom down or just maybe sends a letter or a text, I know sometimes it's difficult to, talk to somebody eye to eye or face to face. So sometimes drop a text or write a letter. That might be a bit old school, but our parents are old school, so maybe a letter would work in this instance, just to get that conversation started. Obviously, there's probably a lot that we don't know there, but I still feel like somebody needs to take the first step and say something. Yeah.
The thing is, we don't know if no steps have been taken.
Yes, babe. Hence, I'm saying there's probably a lot that we don't know.
Yes.
Yeah.
So.
But I hope they fix.
A recommendation.
Yeah.
Next topic. toxic parents.
IB says we should talk about toxic parents. Okay. Yeah, maybe a relationship between parents and their kids, just different dynamics of it. Yeah, we'll consider doing that.
Like text.
Yeah.
But maybe we could have someone on the show who has maybe experience and could take us through, because I think we wouldn't be able to adequately cover talking about toxic parents.
Okay.
All right, and then our next comment is from Wame Madisa, and she says, interesting topic. But then again, traditionally, she gets that monna ukatsali na mani, so that happens to kids from the man's. What happens to kids from the man's side? And remain with their mother.
Run that past me again.
Okay. Okay, let me read this and try to understand it. And remain with their mother, or what? I think what she's trying to say is, you know, traditionally when people get married, normally how would you they're normally asking the man, do you take this lady with her kids? Do you now take the children as your own? She's saying that this question is normally posed to the man. So what then happens when the man is the one who has children and he's coming into the marriage with the children? Is it then that the woman is going to be asked? Is she even asked for how it's the
lady? No, not really. You know, we live in a patriarchal society.
Yeah, so then her question is, what then happens? Do the man's children remain with the birth mother, or does this man then bring the children into his marriage?
Yeah.
So that's the question.
Difficult one. I'm not sure. But what I've seen is Hanzi. How do I put this? Kaswana banaki banaba mabone. That's what's normally said. So even if so even if as a man you go out and remarry, your kids, if you have any kids with your previous either spouse or partner, they're likely to stay with their mom. One day you might be in their life going forward, even if you're remarried. But and then the dad gets to be present, and in other cases, rare cases, maybe the kids predominantly live with their fathers, but that's very rare. Most of the time it's just kids living with their moms, and if the dad decides to marry or remarry again, then they get to live with their mom and somehow try to establish a relationship between themselves, their dad, and the new mom or their stepmother.
But then in such instances, what happens? To go live with the new mom?
No.
They always remain with their mother.
I think they remain with the mom. The only time where they would go live with the stepmom and the dad is possibly when the mom is deceased or passed away. The one or the dad, and then go live with the stepmom. But if the mom is alive, most of the time they just remain with their mom.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we have one reply to that from Iweze. I think when it comes to men who come with kids in the marriage, the kids usually remain with their mother, especially if she's the primary caregiver.
Yes.
And then maybe if the man is the primary caregiver, then the kids can stay with their dad and their new mother.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. I thought so too.
Yes, and then
I'm drinking this horrible ginger thing. It's not
And
nice.
then last comment, still from Abby. She doesn't agree with Kanya Hore Naman. She does not support it, especially when the father is active in the child's life.
Okay. To that one, I think normally if the father is active in that child's life and the mom is getting married or remarried, normally they have to ask permission of the biological father if they are willing to give consent for that kid to be adopted. I think so. I think it's just going to depend on the family dynamics there and the relationship, because I don't think there's a kid who can be adopted when their biological parent is or does not give a go-ahead on Talwan. I think so anyway. I don't know how that's going to work. It gets tricky again because customary law versus, what's the other one? Yes, that one. It gets tricky because there's the traditional element of it, and then there's the courts way. But I think the biological father, has to give consent. I think that's the same thing that Lumo was saying earlier. They have to give consent if you want to allow your kid to be adopted.
But that's the thing, though. Traditionally, you could be adopted and the paperwork has never been done.
I know. But they still need to get consent from your biological father, especially if they're present in your life. Kana present the kara supporting, so that's
I guess there are instances where the biological father may choose not to marry the mother, but chooses that he wants his child to change surnames. And in that instance, in such an instance,
yes.
So then there's that ceremony.
Is it the same as damages?
Is it the same as what?
Damages. You know damages I get. If I meet you and we're not married, I have to go pay damages. I think you do that in some cultures as well.
That you normally pay when you get married.
No, babe. No. Harakopan, we're not married. And then we have a kid. I have to go, or my parents, or my family has to go to a family to say, Kana,
and you know what normally happens when you get there?
Not really.
That's what happens.
Wait. Okay. That could be. I think it just depends on the uncle who's there to negotiate on the day. But the first thing that they establish is you're going to pay this much for damaging our child. That's why it's called damages, right?
I need to rethink this.
Right? Yeah, so you pay something. I think the only reason why they ask you for anyala, if you give your word, or if your family gives them that word for me, indeed, the young man thinks of marrying your child, then the damages are not going to be as much because they're going to charge you more. But you still pay something for the child, even before that. That's the way I understand it. But then again, these things just depend on the different culture. But Waketi, they do it in a certain way, but Kurutu do it in a certain way, but Galaga do it in a certain way. It just depends on the uncle that day, how they're feeling. Yeah.
Interesting. I didn't know.
Yeah. Or if you've been through such an ordeal, well, no duality damage. I don't like calling it damages.
Calling it damages.
It's called damages. You know why? Because that's one I do a if I'm not mistaken. I'm drinking ginger here, so my mind is a little. I think if you do a so if you've been through such an ordeal, where no duel or just let us know how that worked in your culture, please, in the comment section. Yeah.
Yep.
I think it's senyo.
Oh my lord.
One day I'll be, I'm already an uncle somewhere, like I'm going to be negotiating Magadili, and it's going to be very interesting. I guess otherwise I will get a damages.
What is wrong with you?
But I always have this picture in my head, there's going to come a time when, even our generation is a little better because I think I am knowledgeable a bit of our culture. But my 2000, by the time they become like older and they have to carry on with tradition, it's going to be very interesting. Imagine. Because most of them are not really deeply rooted in our culture like that.
Okay.
Next comment, my baby.
Those were all the comments we had on the adoption issue.
Okay. All right. I'm going to head on to Facebook and read comment there. Makebonye. The comment says, our adopted child who's a few weeks old or a few months old, Baba goes spateling after birth because, one, I wouldn't want the child to know if he or she was adopted, including other relatives and my biological kids. Number two, I wouldn't want the parents and the child to know about each other's whereabouts. Number three, I will want the child to change her surname to mine, which is only possible if I've been with that child for 10 years or more. I've been treating her well, right? And then number 4, adopting her at a very young age will help me to change her surname before she starts to ask questions like, why am I using a different surname? Thank you, Mike Bonyi, for that comment. Yeah, I think Bonang did mention something similar when during that episode or during that discussion to say she wouldn't want the child to know that they were adopted.
I never said I wouldn't want the child to know that they were adopted. I'm saying I would have to tell them that they were adopted at a certain point in their life when I feel like they're mature.
Yeah.
However, her concerns are every person's concern. It's a security thing. Like, as a person, we like feeling secure within our relationships. So it's scary to think that a person you formed a bond with could someday leave. Because, like Bugams was saying, we do not own people.
Yeah,
So
even if it's your kids.
Even if it's your kids, they could decide to leave. So, yeah, I do. And honestly speaking, it's really upon you as an individual whether you want. I understand her not wanting the child to. I think there's like different views or different points to everything that she says, not wanting the child to know because it's like something only she would know. Like the child is never gonna know, the siblings are never gonna know, like no one is ever going to know, and that's deep.
Yeah, it's tricky.
It's tricky because one day
they might need blood.
You might be hospitalized, and then your child might. No, blood is like we're all different blood groups. Like I can be different from my parents.
Even if it's like your parents.
Yeah. We're not the same blood group with our parents.
I skipped a few biology classes.
So with blood, yes, but with what's this thing called bone marrow?
It has to match somehow.
Ish. When like your bone marrow and you're like an operation is necessary and they need bone marrow and
that's just one of the instances where it might come out. It's one of those things.
It might never come out.
It will. Things always surface. It's one of those things where as much as you try to bury it, it will always find its way to the surface.
Why?
Or imagine when you've managed to bury it for as long as you are alive, and then you die, and then the kid gets to know, they're gonna resent you forever because you'd be dead. And there'd be no way for you to sort of try and justify and answer
the
why.
questions that the child has.
Or did you steal me? Why? You know?
Oh yeah, that's the did you steal me part.
Yeah, it could be that.
But I feel, I honestly feel like, I honestly feel like to each their own.
Hey,
to each their own.
Hey,
like, honestly speaking,
baby, can you use your platform responsibly? To each their own. How?
Who am I to say that you should or should not do something? Honestly speaking, I'd wear neither because we never know the kind of toxic backgrounds that.
No, I don't agree with you there. You know better.
You don't have to
There are certain things where we can say, "Who am I?" Only God knows. But here
with adoption.
This one it's not clear, but there are certain lines that you can tell. This thing needs to be done this way, and this needs to be done this way. We know better.
Says who?
Why can we know better?
How?
Think of the worst case scenarios that could happen here. Yeah.
I'm listening.
What's her name? Makeboy. Take a child, change their name, nobody knows, right?
Absolutely nobody.
Nobody knows. And then that situation where the operation. You guys need like a bone marrow transplant or something. And then it surfaces. What's gonna happen then?
Well, number one, even if the child had been told, if the child is the one who needs the bone marrow, and we're never gonna find her parents, what good was knowing?
Man, I feel like
I'm asking. I'm very serious. What good is knowing? We're gonna look for these people who left her when she or he needed the most.
No, I
I'm
don't.
a Bailey. Can I finish?
Sure.
We are going to look for these people who left the child when he or she needed them the most, and be like, "Oh, hi, how are you?"
Wait. Why are we saying left? You know, adoption isn't always about leaving a child.
She mentioned a child who was left at the hospital.
Okay. Sometimes people don't do that out of choice. Circumstances, right?
Okay, fine. Circumstances led to the child being left at the hospital. The parents were unable to care for the child. Okay, that's fine. We're going to then seek out these people. We're only
don't call them these people. I feel like there's already some maliciousness attached. You're already attaching a little maliciousness to
There is no maliciousness.
Just say biological parents.
Okay.
Yes.
So, the child needs bone marrow. We seek out the child's biological parents because the child needs them. So, understandably so, we're seeking them out. We find
okay. The importance in the child knowing would help them, or if in such instances, the chances of them surviving are very slim. They will not have hope. Don't give somebody hope just to take it away. That's what I think.
Do you know a complete stranger can give you bone marrow?
Maybe I feel like.
Do you know?
Okay. Anyway, thanks, Mike Bonyo, for that comment. I think we could. I feel like the episode might be long if we try to go read comments from the previous episodes. So the intention with Doek and Tie Extended Cut is to drop it during the week. You know, normally our episodes drop on Sundays, right? So Wednesday, Thursday, we're here to decide on when we want to just read the comments and then drop the extended cut.
Okay.
So hopefully it'll be, when should you drop it? Thursday or Wednesday?
I don't know.
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Okay, I don't know what I was calculating there. Which day is in the middle?
Normally Wednesday is in the middle.
Wednesday is in the middle.
Normally.
Okay. Normally. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay, if it's on Thursday, it'll be too close to the Sunday episode, right? So we'll drop it on Wednesday. So if you want your comment to make it to Doek and Tie Extended Cut, make sure it reaches either YouTube or Facebook on Wednesday. That's when we'll be shooting this and then dropping it on that very Wednesday. So thank you so much to everybody who's commented, and thank you everybody who's watched and contributed to the channel in any particular way, right? Road to 1K on YouTube and a road to 5,000 on Facebook. Thanks. That's it. I'm a little under the weather. I'm gonna step up to this. Back to pajamas. Yeah. Laila Matzak. It's too early, I know.
Yes.
Last words?
Let's agree to disagree.
You said we should have a lawyer on to come and talk about adoption, the process. Make that happen.
We'll look into it.
Doek and Tie. Stick of truth.
They say good things come to those